Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mel, and welcome back to Mel Got Game, where I bring you top plays, top sports news, and breakdowns of the previous week. So if that interests you, please like, comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. So guys, the NFL is getting into the midway point of the season now, and that means a lot of these division races are starting to take shape. It's still really early, but we have a lot of good division races with teams battling for that top spot. And it's been a lot of back and forth among some of these divisional races. And the great teams are always thinking about the future and that end goal of winning a championship. So you already know a lot of these teams are doing everything in their power to make sure that they can secure a playoff spot. And the best way to do that is to win your division. Not only does winning the division guarantee you a playoff spot, but it also guarantees you at least one home game. I mean, everyone wants home field advantage in the playoffs, even if it's just for one game. Even though it's still really early, we can start predicting how each of these division races will end based on how the team is playing so far and their record. Now today, we're going to be looking at the NFC. Now guys, the NFC race in general has been very interesting this year, mainly because a lot of the preseason contenders aren't looking so hot at this point in the season, with 3 of the top 4 seeds from last year not even having winning records right now. I mean, the NFC is just completely flipped upside down. Now, if I told you that the only top 4 seed from last year's playoffs that will have a winning record through the first 7 weeks of the season would be the Dallas Cowboys, you'd probably think I was insane. But with the defending champion Los Angeles Rams sitting at 3-3 and both the Bucks and the Packers sitting at a disappointing 3-4, there's just no telling how the NFC is going to unfold. Now, the divisions in the NFC include the NFC East, the NFC North, the NFC South, and the NFC West. Now let's start with the NFC East. If you sat here and told me 3 years ago that the NFC East would be the best division in football in a few seasons, I'd probably think you never watched football a day in your life. I mean, the last time the East was a very competitive division was back in 2016 when the division had 3 teams with a winning record. And the Eagles were only 1 game back from 500 at 7-9. Since then, I mean, the division has been pretty mediocre, with probably its lowest point coming back in 2020 when the Commanders won the division with just a 7-9 record. This year, the division is a lot better, with the Eagles sitting at the top of the division with the only undefeated record in the NFL at 6-0. Then the Giants at 6-1, which has surprised everyone, including myself. Then the Cowboys at 3rd with a 5-2 record, and the Commanders at 4th with a 3-4 record. Now, this division still has a lot to prove because I personally don't feel like a lot of people are taking the East seriously this year, mainly due to the poor play of the teams in recent years. Now, the Giants are probably the most interesting team right here because they have only played 1 division game, which was against the Cowboys in week 3, which they lost. And they don't have another division game until week 11, meaning we probably won't know where the Giants truly stand in the division until later in the season. For my personal prediction, I see the Eagles taking the division, but not without a fight from the Cowboys. They've already beat the Cowboys once, but now with Prescott back, I see the Cowboys finding their stride and climbing the East for a better playoff positioning. And I think that second Eagles-Cowboys matchup will most likely decide the division. Now, this is a division where we could very well see 3 teams from it make the playoffs. And if the Commanders play their cards right, and in my opinion, bench Wentz and continue to start Taylor Heineke, they could very well be in that conversation too. Now moving into the NFC North. Now with the North, I think the main surprise has been the Green Bay Packers not leading the division and not even looking close to being a contender. For the past 3 seasons, the NFC North has been dominated by the Packers as they've won the division each year since 2019. Now the Vikings are in the lead with a 5-1 record as they are 2 games above the Packers, who have a 3-4 record. Now the rest of the division has still been pretty predictable, with the Bears sitting 3rd at 3-4 and the Lions sitting dead last at 1-5. Now we all knew that the Packers probably weren't going to be the same dominant force in the NFC like we've seen for the past decade, but I feel like there was still some part of all of us that was just like, somehow, some way, the Packers are going to be contending yet again. And it's just like, I don't know how, but they will. But so far, that hasn't been the case. They've struggled against a lot of teams that they should be beating, and they're currently in the midst of a 3-game losing streak. For this division, I think the Vikings will definitely be the team to beat. They are a very well-rounded team, and that connection between Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson is just chef's kiss. Now the rest of the division is kind of questionable. If the Packers don't pull it together this week, it could get real ugly for them for the rest of the season. And I really don't see the Bears or the Lions being able to contend this season. I do, however, think the Lions will find a spark at some point in the season and maybe even finish the season 7-10 or 8-9. And I say that because they still are scoring more points than 14 teams in the NFL, which is almost half the league. And just a few weeks ago, they had the top offense in the NFL. So I think if they just focus on getting back to that high power offense, it could take them a long way for the rest of the season. Now, we're going to move into the NFC South. This division is literally just a mess right now. I mean, it's currently the worst division in football. Nobody in the division has a winning record, with both the Buccaneers and the Falcons tied for first place right now at 3-4. Hey guys, so Future Jamel here. This guy is very handsome. He has a great personality. He's amazing. He really knows what he's talking about with this sports stuff. Anyway, the Thursday night game is between the Buccaneers and the Ravens. This is probably going to go out after the Thursday night game. I'm recording this the day before, but the Buccaneers record is probably not going to be the same, or it's not going to be the same. I don't know why I said probably, unless they tie or something, but it's not going to be the same. Okay, so just disregard that. They're 3-4 right now. I don't know if they're going to win or lose, but hey, that's that. And go ahead, continue with the video. Take it away, Jamel. Panthers and the Saints are both sitting at 2-5 and 3rd and 4th in the division. Right now, the division is up for grabs and it could completely shift in a week or two. I mean, I really don't even want to make predictions for this division because it's just been so unpredictable. The teams are just playing so poorly that it's like, does anybody in this division even deserve a playoff spot? But because the NFL playoffs are so weird, you could win your division with a 6-11 record and make the playoffs, all because you won your division. The Buccaneers have disappointed everybody with their play, as their offense has been among the worst in the league, with them being in the bottom 10 for points scored. The Falcons' offense has been insufficient to say the least, with poor quarterback play from Marcus Mariota, forcing them to rely more heavily on the run game. Carolina just traded their former Pro Bowl running back Christian McCaffrey, and I thought for sure they were just going to have a garage sale for all their good players. But they honestly seem to be a more well-rounded team against the Bucs, who have a top 10 defense. And finally, the New Orleans Saints are just an anomaly right now, with the worst defense in the league, but their offense is in the top 5. In the past 5 years or so, the Saints have been the dominant team in the division. But ever since Drew Brees retired, they've been trying to find ways to get back to that top spot. Now for this season, I think the most well-rounded team is the Falcons. No, I'm not just saying that because I am a Falcons fan. I'm saying that because they currently have the second best offense in the division, and their defense is really good when they're healthy. I mean, a lot of these games, the Falcons shouldn't even have a chance to win. But throughout the game, the defense really just keeps pace with the other team, and it just falls on the offense to be able to score. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and say that the Falcons will win the division, but I'm not all that comfortable with that take, and I think we're gonna have to see how these next couple of weeks play out in the South in order to make a good prediction. Finally, we have the NFC West. Now the West is also another tightly contested division, with the Seahawks leading right now at 4-3, defending Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams at 3-3, and the 49ers and Cardinals at 3-4 and tied for 3rd place. Going into the season, I don't think anybody expected the Seattle Seahawks to be leading right now in the division, but they've proven that they are not a team to be played with, as they have the top offense in the league, with Geno Smith playing like an MVP candidate. And if he continues this, the Seahawks should definitely look for other weapons to build around him, instead of shopping for a quarterback next season. Now, even though the Seahawks have been going on this sort of underdog arc, I think the team to take this division is the Arizona Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals currently sit at 3-4 and at 4th place in the division, but they just got DeAndre Hopkins back last week, and he immediately added that missing spark to the offense, as that was the Cardinals' best performance this season. That spark was very important for the Cardinals, as their offense was struggling to say the least. And it came right around the midpoint of the season, which is the perfect time to make a push. Now, as for the Niners and Rams, I don't think this season will be their year. I think for the Niners, this season is just a feeling out process, with the new addition in Christian McCaffrey being added to the offense and no clear direction for the quarterback position moving forward. And the defending champion LA Rams are pretty much just going back and forth from having a good week to a bad week. And it's pretty clear that there's a couple kinks that they need to work out in order to become a contender again. But guys, that is my analysis for all 4 divisions in the NFC. Let me know down in the comment section below, which division do you think is the most interesting right now? And which NFC team is in the best position to win the conference? We're in week 8 right now, which means we're 1 week away from the midpoint of the season. And it's going to be very interesting in the second half of the season, seeing which teams emerge as the clear favorite to win their division. Now, as always, it's your boy Mel. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please like, comment, and subscribe If you guys did enjoy, have a great day, stay safe, and I'll see you next time on Mel Got Game. I'm out. Peace. All right, moving on to the NFC South. The NFC South, baby. Southern Belle, baby. The NFC South. Good old NFC South, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. 6-11. 10 plus 6. Right? Yeah, because it's 17 games. So you could be 6-11 now instead of 5-11. So 6-11. Math, baby. Math. It's gonna be a long video. I hope y'all don't mind. It's gonna be a long one. No kizzy. No kizzy. It's gonna be a long one. Well, I'm almost done though. I'm almost done. We wrapping up. We wrapping up.